Good morning, friends. It is early. It's 7:30. I forgot that I was meeting my sister to go thrifting this morning at 8. And it actually is working out perfect because Josh gets to sleep in a little bit. So I'm going to go run, meet my sister at the thrift store and some other friends at 8 a.m. And then I'm going to go run right after that and return all this stuff and buy the stuff we need for the chicken coop. So I got my coffee. I'm barely awake. I got a shower, so I feel good. We got a lot done yesterday. We weren't really expecting this project to go into 2 days. It always takes longer than you expect. So I should have expected the unexpected, but no worries. So let's get this day going. It's gonna be fun. If you missed yesterday's vlog, we started, let me turn the lights on. We're out in the shop. I'm getting the work truck because that's where the things we need to return are. We started making a huge chicken run and we just didn't quite get that project finished. And so we're gonna finish it today. We bought 4-foot tall fencing and we decided we're gonna go ahead and do 5 feet. So I gotta return the fencing and the T-post to get taller ones before we can get going on the project today. I've never been here right when it opens and this parking lot is full. This is gonna be fun. People are serious about thrifting. Let's go inside and see what we can find. So my sister got a basket, 3 balls, and 2 kid toys for $9. It's only 8:35 right now, so we weren't in there very long. I didn't have that much patience to rifle through very much, but I'm excited about this computer bag. This is what I got. I paid $3.19 for it. It looks brand new. There's no marks in it at all. And I wanted a little computer bag instead of having to use a backpack anytime I want to carry my laptop somewhere with me. And I'm just hoping my computer fits in it. That's the only thing. If it doesn't fit, oh well. But for $3.19, a brand new computer case, that's awesome. But now it's time to go return that stuff. I might go get myself some coffee. I might surprise Josh with a little bit of coffee. I made him a baked oatmeal yesterday, so we don't have to worry about breakfast this morning. So as soon as we get home, we can kind of hit the ground running and we can finish this chicken run. I'm really excited about it. Wilco has absolutely great customer service. I didn't bring a receipt because everything is purchased on, you put your phone number in. And what they're gonna do is they are going to unload the stuff that I bought yesterday, which is in the back of the truck. They're gonna unload that for me and load the new stuff in. So all I had to do was go to the front counter, tell them what I wanted to exchange it for, and it was super easy. In case you missed yesterday, we moved the chicken coop from over here to over here, and we're making this really big run that goes all the way from the corner of the property where these 2 posts are, all the way to here. So it's gonna be a massive run for the girls. I'm gonna let them out right now. And we're gonna put them in this run. This is the previous run on the property, but I don't want my girls inside this area because this shed is kind of rotting from the inside out. That run is a little bit small, I think, for my girls for the summer and spring when they can't be out on my whole property. For the summer and spring, they have to be in some enclosed area. Otherwise, they're gonna eat my entire garden. I have a big garden and I don't want my efforts to go to the chickens, even though I do feed them a lot of it. I'm growing that food mostly for Josh and I and for friends and family. And so the girls, come on girls, come on. Come on girls, come on. You need to feed them. So they need to be locked up, but in the fall and winter, they have free range of my entire property all fall and winter long. But last night, normally if they're in this run during the day, if it's dusk, I open this gate and they will go straight into their coop. Well, their coop used to be right here. And let me tell you, last night, they were so confused. It took me 30 minutes to get them into this coop because they kept hovering right here thinking, this is where I'm supposed to go to bed. This is where I'm supposed to go to bed. I don't know why I assumed they would just know where to go with their coop, and that's okay. I'm glad that there's some food from where their coop was before, but they're so cute. I need to get them some fresh food and put them in here because I've already been planting, you guys know, out in the garden, and they will make quick work of those little seedling starts if I let them free range. I picked up some coffee for Josh and I, and so now I'm gonna go wake him up. Let me get them some food. My mom organized this shed too yesterday. It's fantastic. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on. Not the perfect setup here, but that's what we're working on making better. Whoop. There you go. Enjoy. Come on. You want to be with your sisters? Let's go. Good job. All right, Josh is up. He's drinking his coffee. He's microwaving some baked oatmeal that I made for him yesterday. I'm gonna get some food in the oven. So I am gonna get some lunch in the oven. I have some baked shells. This is the last freezer meal that I had from 2 freezer meals we did ago. I found it at the bottom of the freezer. So I'm gonna get those baked shells in there because they're completely frozen. And those are gonna take at least 2, if not 3 hours to cook. I didn't do anything to thaw them. I just turned my oven on at the same time I put that in so they can kind of come up to temperature at the same time. I've never had anything break. It's possible, it can, but I want to get some lunch going so that we're not tempted to go get some takeout because right now I don't have any quick stuff to make. I don't have any leftovers in the fridge because we just got back in from being out of town for a couple days. So, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. While Josh is going to start working on actually setting the T-post and things for the run, I'm going to go ahead and clean out the chicken coop. It's been far too long since I've had a chance to do that. So this back piece opens up so that I can have access to it. And what I'm going to, oh, there's already a few eggs in there from this morning. Looks like 3 eggs we got this morning. I'm going to take this chicken clean out and I'm going to put it around the blueberry bushes. It's definitely a lot chillier today. It's only about, what, 40, what did you say, 42 degrees?
52, I think.
52, yeah. That's the high today. So we've got some warmer clothes on. I'm sure once we get going that will warm up nicely. I'm going to sit here and focus on this, get this cleaned up. I'm going to use this clean out as free fertilizer. I wouldn't want to put anything like this around my vegetables that we're going to be eating or anything like that because this is going to be way too hot. It's going to burn them and it hasn't composted at all. I'm not an expert when it comes to anything like that, but I'm not worried about putting this around the base of my blueberry bushes because we're not going to be eating anything that's going to be touching that at all. Josh was working on setting the line so that we would have a straight chicken run, and I was continuing to work on cleaning out the coop. That shovel quickly became not super ideal for this job, so I went and got my pitchfork, and that worked much, much better. Definitely made quicker work of this not so fun job. We have an escape artist. Oh, do you want to lay an egg in here, sweetie? Okay, I'll give you privacy. Oh. We're just gonna let her lay an egg. I'm gonna go dump this by the blueberries. We'll just wait a few minutes for her, no big deal. One of the main reasons we need to build this bigger run is because the run that the previous owners built, I don't want them in the area to lay eggs, and I don't have any nesting boxes in there, so they would have to be in the tiny chicken coop that Josh and I made for them, and it's just not big enough. And so since they're in the run today while we're working, they are still going to need to lay eggs. So chickens make a very distinct sound or cluck when they want to lay an egg. So when I hear them make that noise, I'm going to grab each chicken and put them in the coop and let them lay an egg. So it's not an ideal situation for today, but in the long run, it's going to make a big difference. And you can see these are my blueberry bushes, and I'm just taking a little bit of this clean out and just putting, about a pitchfork worth of clean out around the base of each one of these blueberry bushes. I really didn't even have enough of the clean out to put around each bush, but I think it'll just give the blueberry bushes a little boost of nutrients to enjoy until they produce fruit for us. Miss Thing is still in there laying an egg, so I only have one more clean out I have to do and I will have the chicken coop cleaned out, which is awesome. I need to make that a priority to do that on a more regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch my gears to help Josh. We're going to roll out this
She's fine in there, hun.
Oh,
Just
yeah, that's
leave her,
true.
And then I'll just hopefully close this.
Oh, good idea.
If we can, it's kind of cramped full of stuff.
Oh, she doesn't like that. Okay, let's go.
Well, now she's fine in there.
I know.
I guess you got her.
She's gonna go with the rest of her sisters. The run that we are building is 52 feet wide by 16 feet long, or the other way around. But it's definitely going to be a much better setup for the girls. I'm happy with that. Josh now is going to start putting the T-posts into the ground. We only have one T-post driver, so while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up around the garden. These are some tomato cages that I had put over some seeds that I had planted so my girls couldn't get to them. But now that we are building a new coop, I don't have to worry about them getting into my garden. Some of my cilantro is starting to sprout, so that's why I was moving the leaves away. These are also some tomato cages over my spinach, and they were trying to get into that. So my mom had organized this shed yesterday, so I went ahead and I wanted to try to keep what I was cleaning up organized as well. Josh has almost the entire back row of the coop done. I've been kind of going around the garden just picking up garbage, tags from last year, just tidying up, kind of doing things that I've wanted to do for a long time. I just haven't been able to justify or carve out that time to do it. And since Josh is out here, we're kind of just working together. I thought right now is a perfect time. Nothing major, just, you know when you see those little things around that just kind of bother you, and I do pick them up as I see them, but I haven't had time just to go around and pick up a bunch of it. Now I'm going to run inside because it's about noon, and we're going to check on the lunch and see how the lunch is doing. And it's coming along really well. The part that Josh is working on right now, putting up the T-posts, putting up the fences, is not the difficult part. The part that's going to be a little bit challenging, or I think take a little bit more mental capacity for him, and he might need a little bit of my help, is going to be to figure out how to put the gate in. We're going to repurpose the gate from the old chicken run from the previous owners, and so that might take a little bit more navigating and figuring that out. And let's see how this is looking. So this has been in here for about 2 hours, and it does look like it's completely thawed. Yep, completely thawed, but it needs some more time to cook, so it'll probably be another 45 minutes. I'll go ahead and take the foil off, and we'll probably eat lunch around 1:30 or so. It's actually 12:30 right now. I can't remember what time I said. I think I'm going to package this up for Josh for his lunch, or for his breakfast this week. And then I still need to plant a ton of onions. So what we'll do is we'll get this packaged up. I'll go back out there and I'll start planting onions. Those onions are so small and super tedious. Before I can plant onions, Josh needed my help to put the fencing up. This fencing was pretty relatively easy to put up. What we would do is I would hold it up and then I would pull it really taut so we could try to keep it as taut as possible. That was the only thing that was a little bit difficult because it's not as sturdy as something like a cattle panel, but it just took a little bit of effort, and so far the progress is going really well. Once I got it nice and taut, Josh would take these little clips and he would put them on. We don't have the proper tool for this, and so he did order one on Amazon, so he's only putting 2 clips on each one, and we'll come back and finish it when we have the proper tool. We got the first row of fencing done. We both just ate some lunch. Not gonna lie, both of us were getting a little bit hangry there while we were putting up that fence, which was fine. I had lunch ready, which was perfect, so we were able to eat a lunch. That is one of the reasons why I like to have meal preps and meals ready to go so we can quickly eat something if we need to. What I'm doing now is I still need to plant those onions, but I'm gonna prep dinner. We're probably not going to eat until pretty late tonight because Josh is really going to work hard on trying to get that done. So while he's doing something I can't really help him with, I decided that I was going to come in and prep dinner, and what we're going to have is we're going to have egg rolls in a bowl. So I have some white rice going, I have a cabbage that I bought, some onions that we need to cut because they're growing, and then these are the carrots that we harvested in February when we did our garden tour. But some of them have some bad spots on them because they were in the garden all winter. And so what I decided to do was we're going to go ahead and we are going to process all the carrots. So all these need to be washed and peeled. All the bad spots need to be cut off. Whatever we don't eat with dinner tonight, because by the time I process all these, there's going to be a lot extra. I think I'm going to freeze them, or maybe we'll run the freeze dryer, because I went ahead and I processed all the leeks that we harvested together too. Those have been in the refrigerator for probably a month. It's probably been a month since we harvested them. They were still fine, but I figured if I'm in food preservation mode, then let's just go ahead and preserve the leeks. So I chopped them up and I washed them really, really well, because leeks hold on to sand. You really have to wash them really well. So cutting them, washing them is the best practice. I also went ahead and got the meat out to thaw. I got some ground beef out to thaw for dinner tonight. And I went ahead and I loaded and unloaded the dishwasher because we needed to get some dishes done. So I'm gonna try to get some kitchen work done. You see how this has a bad spot? This part is fine. This part needs to go. So I really am gonna peel them, set them aside, and then we're gonna wash them after I get them all peeled for a second time, and then we'll go through and I'll cut them up for dinner tonight, and then some for the freezer, because we're not gonna be able to eat all these tonight. These carrots I'm gonna put in my broth bag, and I'm just gonna use them next time I make broth, because they're not the tippity-toppity-est quality of carrots. I'd save the nicest ones for dinner tonight, but these will make a beautiful either chicken broth, beef broth, veggie broth, whatever kind of broth we end up making with them. I'm gonna chop this whole head of cabbage up, because that's kind of like the main component of egg rolls in a bowl. I just took off the outer leaves, and then I'm going to cut these really, really thin. I have everything set for dinner, except the beef is still need to be thawed, but it's only 3 o'clock now, so I probably won't start dinner for at least 3 hours or so, because it'll only take about probably 15 minutes to cook. We have our rice cooking, and now I'm going to go outside. I'm probably going to plant more of those onions, and I'm going to see if Josh needs my help out there. I've got my compost bowl, and I think Josh has all the T-posts up. How's it going? Tired? Tired? Yeah. Me too. It looks really good. You got all the T-posts in, it looks like?
All but one.
All but one? Since Josh got all the T-posts up, it was time to put the rest of the fencing in. We decided we were going to change where we were going to put the door. If you watched yesterday's vlog, we were going to put the door in the middle of this front row, but we decided to put the door on the end here because of the watering situation and how to get the hose in there. And I think there was another reason, but I can't remember why, but I'm pretty excited and grateful for how much work Josh put into this chicken run. Talk about productive. Josh got it done. Now, we didn't get the door in because this was a lot of work, because he decided to make this really just a nice chicken run. Way better than I was anticipating, way better than anything I would have done, and I'm really, really happy with it. So what he did here is we just have the wire around here, and so I'm gonna be able to open this and we'll be able to put the chickens in there. And tomorrow's Monday, so he said he's gonna work on it tomorrow after work, but if this is my chicken door for the next week, I'm not worried about it at all. I'm really happy with it.
Well, you're not supposed to tell me that, because then...
Oh, you're gonna get this done on Monday, tomorrow, right?
We just need a tool, a special tool to get for the brackets. They didn't have them at our local store, and it's a pain in the butt to use the pliers to twist them. And there's a little tool that has a little hinge on it that just kind of like pushes them in and gets them nice and snug. So
yeah, so we only put, I think, 2 brackets or 3 brackets on each T-post, and we're gonna wait for that permanent tool. Josh ordered it, and I don't think it's gonna come even till Tuesday.
It should be here tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, okay.
But yeah, everything is super loose in the meantime.
Yeah.
We'll get nice and snug tomorrow or Tuesday.
but it's gonna keep the chickens in there, and it's gonna keep them out of my garden, and it's gonna give them a way bigger, this is 3 times the size that I was anticipating, and so I'm just thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. So Josh is so graciously cleaning up his mess, and I have kind of cleaned up out here as much as I'm going to. I'm gonna go inside, we're gonna get dinner going. I probably am gonna shower first because I've been kind of crawling around on these, what is that, dirt, the ground, trying to plant those onions. See, this is what I've been picking up. So many of these. I hate these things. I like them because it tells me what I have planted, but they sure do make a mess. Girls, you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for my chickens because this was the smaller run. I don't know how big that is, but now I'm gonna be able to turn this whole area into garden, which is gonna be awesome. I decided to go ahead before I go in to cook dinner to put all the girls in here so that I wouldn't have like what I had yesterday where they were super confused and trying to get them through this silly door. So when I come out here and it's dark, I'll be able to close that door because they will have gone to bed in their coop where it's safe. This fence is not predator proof. If something wanted to get up underneath this, they certainly could. But that coop has been proven for 2.5 years to be predator proof. So at night, I'll go in and close that every night just like I normally do. It'll be a lot easier once I have a door, but I'm just so grateful and happy and thrilled to have this amazing chicken run that I've been dreaming of for 2 years. It's awesome. All right, showered and feel a lot better, and we're ready to get going on dinner. I went ahead and I ground up a pound of my ground beef, and I put our onions and leeks in here, and I'm gonna saute these. I don't know if I was able to show it, but when I brown my ground beef, I've said this before, I don't just make it turn brown, I caramelize that ground beef. It's gotta be brown, brown, brown. It's okay if it sticks to the bottom of the pan. When you put your onions and your leeks or onions in your pot or vegetables, the moisture those onions and vegetables release will help release those sticked on bits, and that's gonna give you a lot of flavor. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get everything to fit in here, but the cool thing about an egg roll in a bowl is you don't really have to follow an exact recipe. I just cook with what I have, and this recipe is a lot easier and faster if you buy the coleslaw mix where the carrots and cabbage are already pre-shredded, and then all you have to do is cut up your onions if you're using them. So I'm able to scrape up all those brown bits because the onions have released some moisture, and we're getting all that flavor into the mixture. Once I scrape up all those bits, I'm gonna turn the stove back on high because I turned it down once I added the onions just to give it a little bit of time for those onions and leeks to start releasing some of their moisture. I'm gonna add a little bit of our confit garlic. A little bit of red pepper flake. I'm gonna add a little bit of seasoned salt. Okay, now we're gonna see if we can fit all this cabbage in here. The carrots still have some crunch to them because I don't want them to be completely soft. So I'm just gonna slowly put this cabbage in here. As it wilts down, we'll be able to put a little bit more and a little bit more. We did it, friends. We got all the cabbage to fit in here, and it's almost done, but before it's done, we're gonna put a little bit of soy sauce in it. That's about where I like to keep it. I don't like to cook it down to where the cabbage is cooked down to nothing. This is still gonna have a little bit of crunch in the cabbage and the carrots. Let's see how this is. After a long 2 days of working outside, it's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, and so I'm gonna spend those 3 days working inside. There's some organizational projects I really need to get to. That's delicious. Simple, delicious. You get all the flavors of an egg roll, but you don't have the mess of frying an egg roll. If you wanted this to be low carb, you could certainly not serve it over rice, but Josh is really going to enjoy it over rice, and I'm going to package up some leftover containers with rice and this, and that will make a really good lunch for him. I went ahead and turned the stove off. The last thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of sesame seeds, and that's it. Super, super simple, really delicious, easy, easy, easy. I'm going to call Josh down. He deserves a nice hot dinner tonight. The rice is perfectly cooked. I already checked it. And we're going to sit down and we're going to enjoy dinner, maybe watch a little TV and relax. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'll put a couple other videos here. You can go enjoy those between now and my next upload. If you're new, consider subscribing. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, guys.